North Korea loves to threaten all-out war. In times of high tension, the regime makes that threat multiple times a week. But could they do it? Do they have the firepower to back those fiery threats? What does the military in the Hermit Kingdom look like? Boots on the ground. They have 1.2 million active soldiers, 7.7 million in the reserve army. If you're doing the math, that is 9 million soldiers. It is a massive army. The conventional weapons they would be using, though, are old. Artillery forces. North Korea has 8,600 artillery cannons. That is a lot of them. The reason why is that they are cheap. The weapons, though, do have limited range. Tanks. 4,300 of them. Now, North Korean tanks date back to the Soviet era, also old. Fighter jets, 820 of them. These fighter jets are extremely old. They're equivalent to the U.S.'s Vietnam-era fighter jets. One U.S. F-16 could take down a large number of North Korean fighters at once. Submarines. North Korea has approximately 70 of them. They are very old as well. Now, here is where they are effective. They could transport special forces into South Korea, which gets us to special forces. North Korea has approximately 200,000 soldiers in the special forces. Now, troops are cheap, but these troops are highly effective. They are very dangerous. They can travel in a small squad, so they're hard to detect. And they could carry in chemical weapons. Now, to the west, chemical weapons are most worrisome. They are difficult to detect, difficult to track. North Korea has an unknown number of chemical weapons. One small chemical weapon released here in the heart of Seoul could do untold damage on the population. Missiles. The ones you see in North Korea's parades, that massive one they like to show, thought to be able to reach the western coast of the United States. The precision is not known, or how much warhead payload it could carry. Also unknown, how many North Korea possesses. So, now we can talk about the big concern. Nuclear weapons. North Korea tested nuclear weapons in 2006, 2009, and 2013. North Korea has an unknown number of nuclear weapons, and it is developing its capability in miniaturizing nuclear weapons. That technology would be devastating. It would allow the regime to put nukes on a missile. Cyber warfare. North Korea has been successful in developing cyber warriors. An estimated 6,000 cyber warfare troops are placed around the world. Remember the Sony hack? U.S. intelligence pinned that hack on North Korea's cyber warriors. So, could they do it? A conventional war would be limited. They have some capability in launching a targeted chemical war, and each day they do get a little closer to being a global nuclear threat. Here's the catch. North Korea's broke. Security experts widely believe that without outside help from another rogue country, North Korea only has the money to wage war for a few days. But even a war of a few short days would be bloody, resulting in mass casualties on the Korean peninsula.
North Korea, they're about to launch something. What are we going to do about North Korea? What should we do about it?
I think we should be very worried. My good friend and co-author Bill Fortune wrote a book called 1 Second After, which is a novel about what happens with an electromagnetic pulse attack. There's no question that the newest kind of nuclear weapons right at the right altitude could eliminate all electricity production in the United States, which includes your car. It would mean that basically we would go back to a pre-industrial era overnight, in seconds. It's a very serious threat. I don't think North Korea should be allowed to launch missiles. I think we should take whatever preemptive actions are necessary. The idea that we're going to suddenly be shocked one morning because one of these missiles has a nuclear weapon and does something that dramatically changes America, I think is a very dangerous idea, and I find it very difficult to watch the U.S. government be passive as the North Korean dictatorship continues to develop its capacity to deliver nuclear weapons.
How did we get to this point? I mean, we were speaking to them, we were talking for a while, but now, you know, they've got this on the launch pad.
Well, Greta, I don't want to sound too bold, but whether it's Hamas in Gaza, it's the Iranians and their nuclear program, it's the North Koreans and their nuclear program and missiles, we in the West, in the democracies, have a propensity to lie to ourselves, just as we did in the 1930s about Adolf Hitler and about Nazism. And I think we have been kidding ourselves. The North Koreans have been steadily working towards this capacity. The Iranians are laughing at us as they continue to build more and more centrifuges to build the capacity for nuclear weapons. Hamas laughs at us as they continue to fire missiles into Israel, while Israel gets blamed for responding. These are real enemies. And I think the Obama idea of respecting them and being courteous to them and communicating with them, it implies that they're fools. Kim Jong-il knows exactly what he's doing.
We have 1 minute left.
But I think the idea of allowing the North Koreans to launch missiles is an enormously dangerous threat in the long run. And it'll never be true until the morning it is, and then it'll be just like 9/11, and people will say, gosh, why didn't we think of this? And Bill Fortune's book, 1 Second After, which has, by the way, been endorsed by a number of nuclear physicists, is technically exactly right, should really worry any American about what we're watching.